You think you're my competition? Don't flatter yourself. One of the problems with marketizing social realms and professional realms is that we start to think that other workers are a competition, and they are not. The market fetishizes this idea that the best people win, the best person gets the job, and you strive for what you go for, and you're competing against everyone else. When most times that isn't true. Most time who gets the job is who's there, who's connected, who's already known by the people who's hiring. Probably one of the most important things with applying for new jobs is the references you have, the people that you already know, the work you have already done, so that people know that you're a good worker. But once you're there, you're not competing with the rest of the people, or at least you shouldn't be. Hi, I'm Ray Richards. I write fiction, some poetry, and am busy with several novels. And I'm putting them out there, and you might think that that's a very competitive market. The writers write and compete and are all very serious and need to keep their methods secret, but that isn't true. There's actually a huge, not even market, a huge cache of free advice put out there by writers for writers. Even on YouTube, you can find several channels devoted to writing advice, where they talk about how to sell, how to write, how to go past writer's block, how to brainstorm, and all of those videos for professional advice were put on the internet for free, out of the goodness of people's hearts, out of the desire to see their face put out there, out of the desire to share the things that they have learned. When it comes to breaking into an individually oriented field like writing, advice is very important, and probably even more important is a mentor, someone who's already doing the thing that you want to do, that can give you points, that can read your stuff, that can tell you where you need to improve and how to break in and sell writing to people. Even then, when it is a literal market, it is still not a competitive market. Writers read other writers. They write together, cooperatively. They see what everyone else is working on. They see advice other people are doing, and they point out and suggest other writers for their readers to go check out. Whenever I watch a writing advice video and someone who is also a writer says that I'm in competition with other writers, that's gonna be my first comment. Other writers are not my competition. Other writers are a resource. Other writers are allies. I never hesitate to tell another writer about an idea I've had, about an approach I'm doing, about what my book is about. Because I think it's impossible for them to, one, steal it, and two, make a piece of work that is similar enough to mine that people won't want to read me, or that their work is even better. I don't really believe in better. That might be part of the problem. Even within your workplace, when all the individual employees are competing against one another, they do not win. The winner is whoever is getting the most of the capital, whoever is getting that surplus value from all of the workers striving individually. It's very dangerous to make your workplace so competitive unnecessarily, because then it makes your customers into an enemy, and it makes your other sales workers into enemies. But where do you get advice on selling? Your coworkers. Who covers you when you're sick? Your coworkers. Who would you help if they had a problem? Your coworkers. If you work at a workplace where you cannot go to other people for help, where they won't because of some competition thing, that is toxic, and that is a bad workplace. And you should do what you can to either change it or find a better one. I run a Patreon, and on my Patreon, I let people full-on read my works in progress, and even my junk folder, my slush pile, my own personal slush pile, where I put literal garbage, tidbits of lines and things I'm thinking, and just, when I have a writing session where I'm just trying to get out the wiggles. For $5 or $15, you can read my first, my last, my everything out there. I put it all out there for people to read. And it might change because people might not like that forever. People might have enough of my actual physical out there work to read to care about my slush pile. But right now, it's there. And I don't think it's gonna hurt me. And really, the majority of my patrons don't even care about writing because they're here for the YouTube videos, or they're here to support me specifically because they like like me, which is weird. That's a weird feeling to get used to, people just liking me. So why does the marketplace want to do this? It's not just workers that impose this, it's bosses that impose competition on their employees. It's so that people don't help each other, so that people feel alone. They do it so that you are agitated enough that you don't want to go out for a beer after work with the people that have agitated you, to go alone, to stew in your thoughts, to be isolated from your other workers. And that is the biggest problem with a lot of things. Isolation causes loneliness, it lets thoughts stir, it makes you cut off from the world, and your thought process is toxic when compared to what they should be or what you could help with. Competition is a bad look. Okay. But now you might say, because there's a lot of propaganda for competition, that competition serves the best results, when they don't. There is actually market research. If you've seen A Beautiful Mind, The Beautiful Mind is a biopic about a researcher who put out a theory of market value, wherein if people are able to cooperate, instead of everyone going for the big fish, they can split up what they go for and everyone can win by getting something. Cooperation is good. Collectivism is good. Demonstrated by a group of women and a group of men. If every man goes and asks the hottest chick out, then not only will most of them be turned down, but the sheer amount of people, them interfering with each other, will make it so that no one goes home with the hottest one. But if they split up themselves and everyone goes for a different one, if everyone's a good wingman, then everyone goes home with someone. Or at least dances with someone. Hookup culture is weird. Go have your fun. Live your life. I don't care. That's it. Just competition is bad, cooperation is good, and one theory to prove it. Yeah. Go. Make friends, you silly person.